The digital world moves fast, but real growth comes from real conversations. This is eCoffee with Experts, where marketers and founders share what's actually working in SEO, AI, and digital growth. Grab your coffee and fuel your mind as we chat with top minds about their wins, struggles, and lessons you won't find in a blog post. Brought to you by Digital Web Solutions, we bring real talk to help you grow your business, one episode at a time. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Victor here back with eCoffee with Oranges. eCoffee with Experts actually. We're just wearing orange out of a coincidence, but that's only because it's my favorite color, of course, as you already know. And today, instead of talking about oranges or talking about anything related to it, we're actually going to be talking a little bit more about WordPress and the world of WordPress, but not specifically any WordPress platform. We're actually talking here today with Anna Parkhomenko. She's the marketing specialist at MotoPress. And we're going to learn soon enough that the moto part of it is not related to motorcycles. And she's here to provide us more information about how she's working nowadays with content, with SEO, with PR in regards to, but not only to, MotoPress and the WordPress world. Anna, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation. Absolutely. I'm fine and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Same. And to be wearing orange at the same time. I think that's if you are at the moment listening to us through Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, we are wearing orange at the same tonality. Wonderful to see. You should check it out on YouTube. Anna, the reason why people are here is not to see the matching colors of our outfits, but actually to understand. Even though it's a nice trivia, of course, but it's actually to understand more about you and the things that you're doing today at MotoPress. But before we delve into the technicality of it all, why don't you just start by introducing not only who you are, but what makes you wake up every day and what made you decide to go to the WordPress world? That would be fantastic.
Yeah, well, that's the hardest part to introduce myself. The hardest question. Yeah, I'm Anna. And I'm actually from the south of Ukraine, but now I'm in a small village in Germany, visiting my relatives.
Oh, that's nice.
After the conference in Switzerland, actually it was a WordCamp conference, which is totally dedicated, probably you've heard, dedicated to WordPress.
WordPress.
Fellow WordPressers and sometimes even customers. So yeah, that was a very short way from Basel, which is in Switzerland.
Nice. And how was the weather during the conference?
It was raining always, but the last day was fine. It was sunny.
Great.
Perfect. At least one day was okay, yeah.
And the last one, which is usually where people need to be the most energetic about. So great to know, right?
Yeah. My journey actually it all started also by accident. I was in the customer support team at first many years ago when I was just studying. And then I was wearing many hats, changed many roles as in the QA team, the marketing team, and finally found myself in the MotoPress copywriter and marketing team, doing a lot of things. I was always, I believe, close to the customer and to the product. So I'm somewhere in the middle of a product and marketing and customers.
Which is great.
Yeah, purely sending emails to customer or creating ads for Facebook, but I'm working with the product a lot. I'm testing a product in documentation. I take part in all the meetings, plus all the possible meetings with developers, designers, marketing. So yeah, you have a task to create a proper title for this job because I have a lot of ones.
Well, marketing specialist does sound like, it's covering a lot of things. We can keep with that, of course. People would love to have an AI version of you, I imagine, at work.
Yeah. MotoPress, I know if you've heard, MotoPress actually is a company that does a lot of things. Most known for its hotel booking plugin, yeah, there are a lot of products. And for the introduction, you asked what makes me wake up.
Yeah, wake up every day.
It's probably a cup of coffee at first. Yeah, and then ideas, hopes then the war in Ukraine will stop, and then there will be another peaceful day as before. Well, probably that I can do something for that every day. I can work, I can volunteer, I can help my husband, and who is also now in the army. So a lot of things I believe that help me.
My heart's with you and your husband.
Thank you.
Everything will work out wonderfully. I'm sure of that. Well, that's actually a great intro, and I very much thank you for it. Because this episode by itself, I think we should and we could focus on the world of WordPress plugins and themes, how much it has changed, and maybe even your expectations for the future. This is not the question, but we're going to touch about AI nowadays because it changed so much, right? It changed a lot of things. It changed a lot of the ways that the customer handles their journey, even us, the marketeers, how we're building their journey. So a lot has changed, but this is still not the time to talk about AI. First, before that, I'd actually would love to understand even better in this ocean of WordPress's plugins and themes, how do you approach, even how do you differentiate and you help differentiate MotoPress besides, and even across the competition, the vast world of the alternatives of WordPress's plugins and themes?
Well, we print a logo on a t-shirt.
Then that's enough for me.
And that's how we differentiate ourselves.
Perfect. Amazing episode.
Actually, this is a very good question because it is really hard and it is made worse because MotoPress has way too many things to offer. Smaller things like smaller plugins, which, for example, are a GetFit plugin, which is a library of content building blocks for a website. Every business owner who has a website might need them one day, like gallery, an image, a timeline, all the tools that you need to create a perfect page, right? I called it a smaller plugin, which is totally free actually. And the bigger ones, like this one I mentioned, hotel booking plugin or booking plugin. We also have a new one released, a booking calendar for all things rental business. These are huge plugins. So as you can understand, the issue is how we find a direction to pursue in marketing, how we present ourselves when we have so many different things. So we decided that we just focus our efforts on the booking family of plugins, as we call them, booking family, because the most popular things are actually devoted to booking and businesses that deal with bookings, like, as you said, vacation rentals, hotels, etc., etc. So we've decided we build this booking brand and smaller things follow. So because the team is not so big. There are 17 people and a lot of things to do, a lot of products. So that's how we position ourselves with multiple products that are have the similar functionality, but for different types of businesses. For example, hourly rentals, when a hairdresser, for example, would need an hourly rental product. And a hotel might need a multi-property solution where every room can be booked, etc., etc. So these are very business-fueled and business-specific solutions. So it's not just a utility or booking engine, but very business-specific. Every business can choose what they have. And more than that, I believe we also have covered the problem, which is not so often covered in WordPress. And this is a design issue because quite often WordPress plugin developers create perfect software, perfect plugins which do the job. But design is quite often left up to a theme that a customer
That's a good point.
Yeah, and that's why we try to cover it by creating packages of designs that our award-winning designer creates. And customers can simply choose to have, if they have a villa in the mountains, they can choose this snowy house with perfectly adapted typography. If they have
that's so nice.
an inn somewhere in the mountains, in the woods, and the green color is the main. They can choose this design, etc., etc. And we always devote a lot of time to these design questions. So probably these all-in-one solutions. This is how we also differentiate ourselves. So we need the right focus, the right direction. Then we need the right approach, like we deliver design and software. And I would say I was testing a lot of plugins from other companies because I was also doing a lot of work as a freelancer and writing reviews of plugins and themes for other companies. And I noticed that quite often their solutions are not perfectly WordPress native, as we call them. It's when you add too many extra styles, different whistles and things, which are too heavy, which can slow down a site, which can destroy the design consistency on the website. And we also try to at MotoPress to solve this issue by creating more WordPress native themes without all these bells and whistles. So yeah,
I
it's
see.
probably a few things that I could mention. A lot more, but I believe these are the main ones.
No, but you did it very well. I think we have a way better picture of the things that you are all doing in building right now. Even I'm actually very curious to understand. We are gonna touch about this about the Diana from product against Diana from marketing, right? Because even though they are right now the same person, and that same person has knowledge of both areas, I imagine that sometimes you are more focused on the product Anna than the marketing one, and vice versa. Might depend on the need, might depend on the campaign, on the thing that you need to do, right? But there
Yeah.
might be like even 1% different. And I think we can actually start about this already. Talking about the product, Anna, the person that is building, the person that is improving the product itself, that is, way more concerned about the longevity of it all. How are you making sure right now that you are looking towards the correct features? And what do I mean by that? We have so many companies and specialists and founders that sometimes have a very hard time understanding if they should prioritize on new features first or on customer user experience or even something else. But you know more about it than the standard marketing professional does. So how are you in a weekly basis taking the time to understand what's hot in the market and what's a trend and what's not even working anymore?
It's a very good question because I think marketing is not just about one thing you can do, one perfectly working solution. Like we create this long tutorial for content marketing and then it works. And then you have a lot of traffic which converts to sales. No, it doesn't work like that, I think. It is more about being omnipresent in social media, in newsletters, in content marketing, conferences, being present as a brand, as a solution, as a product, and as a team, as a human being, a person as well. Meeting people in person and telling about the product. And also, I can actually name a few things that worked for us. I don't know if
Please.
others.
Yeah, no, please, of course. That would be my next question. What worked surprisingly well for you? It's even here in my script of questions. So please, that's the next one. Go on.
Yeah, things that actually work for us. This can go long, but a few ones. The one is probably customer stories. It's actually an interview with a customer, which is a questionnaire, and a customer sends their answers to the questions about their business, about how our solution solves their problems, and how fast they start earning from those bookings, for example. And they send their pictures, and they send the pictures of their accommodation that they rent out, so that our potential customers can see these stories, can read these stories, and can truly relate, can feel that these are authentic stories, and that we are a real brand, and that these solutions truly drive revenue for these customers. And these customer stories are actually quite popular with our prospects. And we can also easily repurpose them, because I think content purposing is very, very important.
It is.
Yeah, we put these customer stories on the product page as well after we published them on the blog. They also appeared on the product page, so they are always there. We use them in social media ads. We use them like in email, in newsletters. So they were quite a unique content, which you can't create with AI or ChatGPT.
True.
So these customer stories are very, very helpful, I believe,
That's great
for
to know.
marketing. Another thing is that we really loved, that we love doing and that drive conversions, because you can see that in Google Analytics. We create product comparisons for our blog. I personally also write those, as well as my fellow team writers. We test the products, our product and competitor product. Then we create these comparison tables. We write conclusions. So we compare them feature by feature. And of course, people who search for some other popular solutions, they can find these comparisons and read them. Sometimes from the customer, from the prospect point of view, that might seem like a little bit biased, because MotoPress is MotoPress to some competitor. But actually, we have no point in writing something which is not true, because we don't need customers who need features that we don't have. So,
Perfect.
yeah, if we don't have this feature, we just tick this box. No, we don't have this feature.
Yeah.
You can continue your research, so it works for us.
Another company will definitely have the feature, right? So many to choose from.
So yeah, these customer stories and these product comparisons. Probably I would also mention these short formats of videos, which are YouTube shorts.
I love them.
Which are very popular with modern day people to watch very short videos. They are not about long tutorials. And a designer has created animated videos which showed the product, how it works, some main features, and it was like 1 minute or something like that. And they are super, super popular. And sometimes customers discover our products through these YouTube shorts. So these were like
wow, that's actually very nice to know that it's working on your behalf. Like
yeah, that was a nice discovery. Guest posting worked in the past. Moments. Say no, it is really hard to find partnerships if you are ready to publish a guest post, because 5 years ago, 6 years ago, people were looking for these guest posts, these tutorials. We could exchange links more easily. Now it doesn't work like that. So these types of content worked for us.
That's great to know. It's actually that knowing that video works is always, I think it's always an opinion that I love getting validated, because I love doing such videos. I love creating such content because I also love watching such content. Not in a healthy way, mind you, okay? I'm already getting towards that line between healthy and unhealthy, and I definitely need to start putting some walls to protect myself from doom scrolling, but it is something that worked.
It's up our time.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Still continue talking about video and even content by itself. Do you feel like a lot of marketeers are missing on some content format, even video, for example, or whenever you're watching and observing your colleagues from other companies, your peers, your friends, even those that you don't know about but are on LinkedIn, do you feel like not everybody's actually very updated and managed to catch up with the trend?
Well, of course, I can't tell you for sure for everyone whether they are overlooking it or not. But I remember reading a book which is called Rework. If you've heard, it was popular many years ago, 5 years or something like that, by 37 Signals, which are Basecamp creators. And I remember one phrase that said, marketing is not a department. And that was like, at that moment, for some people, sounded probably like something non-trivial or a riot, something rebellious. But actually, this is what a lot of classical marketing books say. So marketing is not really a department. It's a cooperation of different people.
It is true.
Of engineers or designers, supports, technical support, and actual marketers. And in this cooperation, in this communication, clear communication, they can define what customers want and how can we deliver it. So long story short, if we take a look at marketing at this perspective, that it is not a department, but a lot of processes that happen behind the scenes and communication between everyone, I would say that for us, a cool thing that worked was these growth experiments. What is a growth technique? If you've never heard about it before, probably it is when a group of people meets online for another meeting and says, discuss. No, it's not like that. It is actually when a group of people from a team, from our team, we did it a lot, meets, gets together online But everyone comes up with a hypothesis on how to change something on the website, on what can be improved, how can we grow. That's why a growth experiment.
That's
For
very nice, actually.
example, for example, it can be about anything, about marketing, about product positioning and product messaging. It can be about design. It can be about a checkout workflow, for example, or it can be about anything in external ads, like in Google Ads. What can we change? What we notice? What can we do? And these meetings are dedicated time for these improvements. Then we implement these. At first, we discuss these ideas. Then we decide what we and implement them and do small tests and then have results and see what we can do with these results. So we have a lot of insights from these results. So I believe this is the thing that not so many people are doing, but you would take a look at marketing from this point of view. This is something worth doing also because, every day at work, you have something to do, but ideas can pop up at any moment.
Oh,
and
yes.
sometimes, and sometimes you don't know what to do. Like you can forget it. You can create a new task in Jira on Trello, and it can be there forever on the shelf of ideas, on the dusty shelf, can forever.
Mhm.
Yeah, and this growth experiment is actually a dedicated time when you can actually take these ideas and bring them to life. So we all are always doing something, and sometimes we don't have the time to think about what we are doing. And this growth experiment is the time when you can take the time to think about the project, but shape it into this doing mode. So this is very comfortable for everyone. And I believe we've done a lot of cool things, cool improvements on the website.
That's nice.
Product, in the marketing, in ads, in all the workflows, in onboarding, because marketing is all about these things, all about these improvements. Yeah, and I don't think I've heard that people are doing it a lot. So for me, it was really a really interesting experience. Something new, something interesting, something unique, I would say. And I believe even a company or project should do it regularly to get some insights.
I promise you that I'm going to be the first one to take what you just said and apply it in real life. Because even though the concept of the grow meeting is not a revolution by any chance, people call it brainstorming activities, people call it all hands. There are several names, but the way you're implementing it, where everybody already needs to come to the meeting with an idea, I love this. I very much love this. So I promise you in a few months, I'm going to reach you back and say, hey, Anna, the grow did really
Would be
grew
perfect.
us.
Very
Yeah.
refreshing experience. We take a fresh look at the website.
That
and
must be
the product.
that's actually a very, very great piece of advice. And it actually clings to a question that I was thinking about. Again, coming to the opposite side of things, because we were now talking about something very positive. But talking about the marketing playbook for any WordPress based company, website, whatever. Is there a tactic? Is that a tactic that you feel like is very much outdated, but people, and then this is not marketing wise, content wise, this is all WordPress wise. But is there something that you see people are still clinging to that they should just let it go?
Well, I've been in WordPress for, I said that for around 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And there always has been an issue, and still it is. It is pricing and pricing models in WordPress. People think that WordPress should be cheap, and everyone is looking for modest pricing, and everyone is looking for lifetime licenses, which is you pay once and you get the product updates forever. But we need to work every day and do our job every day, and people want it for free. So this was an issue many years ago, and it is still an issue, I would say. It is changing a bit. People, especially bigger companies, they start pricing their products adequately, I would say. Many people, as I read, remove these lifetime licenses. We also had one, which we had also removed from our pricing. We only left one lifetime license for one product. I mean, you can get a lifetime license only if you use it on one website. For example, if you're a business owner, you have a small Airbnb, in your garden, you can have this lifetime license. Okay, we can pay once and get all these things forever. But if you're a big agency and you earn money from from your customers, then we don't offer this solution. If you have 10 plus customers,
I agree.
Can't go with a lifetime license. So if
Yeah,
you
I
earn
agree.
you should share something. Yeah, because it takes time and effort.
Yeah, so much. Way more, you're gonna be spending way much more time, effort, even mental health with an agency customer of yours than a single side job. Of course, you're gonna be spending way more time. It's natural that it's not gonna be a lifetime thing. But I get what you're saying. It's like people right now, they know how much it has evolved. They know how much it can be complex, but it's old tech. So why would you charge so much about it, right?
WordPress is probably even more saturated than before. New companies appear all the time, and they create these race to the bottom when they set very small prices for their products because they just start. They want to be visible, and that creates an issue for bigger companies.
It does.
Or yeah, because it doesn't just attracts new customers, but new product creators as well. So that's why it's so saturated. We always need to deal with this pricing and pricing model issue because products are getting better by older companies because we invest years in them and they are better and better every year. But pricing is not sure a bit desired.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain very much so. Even talking a little bit about myself in this case, and then we are gonna come to one of my last questions of the show. I started working 19 in a SaaS company as a sales guy, selling social listening platform, which was so new at the time. So everybody wanted a piece of it. So they were very much into paying more for that. Actually, money wasn't a problem for most of them because they knew that it's not that they knew, but you could perceive that the technology itself was new, was fresh, was updated. So I believe it's just like our lives right now. Whenever you are talking about smartphones, for example, a lot of people just go straight to Apple because of the value that they perceive out of the smartphone itself. But Samsung has their lines, the S line, that is the same high value as the iPhone. And then you have other brands doing so. But it's Android, just like it's WordPress. Why would I have to pay so much for something old? But you and I, and those that are watching us, I'm pretty sure everybody here that's with us, they agree with you in the case where it's like companies wake up and you really want to pay $50 for a lifetime good customer support and implementation for your website. I don't think you should. You should actually go and understand that it's an investment. It's gonna
only if people understand that.
And that's for a lot of markets, a lot of places on earth right now. It's not something, of course, exclusive here, but it pains nonetheless. I actually feel, Anna, this is actually a great moment for us to get to, as I said, one of my last questions, which would be, does building in the WordPress space limit how much a company can grow versus what's available today? And then we can start talking about AI.
Yeah, yes and no. It's really hard. Actually, WordPress is very, very flexible and expandable. And not only for customers or for people who use WordPress, but also for companies. For instance, you can create plugins which would connect extra services that people already use to WordPress, or you can take WordPress to other platforms using REST API, create mobile apps, for example, or you can even use WordPress multisite to build SaaS-like services. So we actually also have done that. We took a WordPress multisite and our hotel booking plugin, and we've created a SaaS service. And now people can use our plugin without WordPress, whether they have Wix or Squarespace or even HTML. Drupal, anything, they can just simply use our solution by simply registering and creating an account. Yeah, WordPress, if you know what to do, if you know WordPress well, I believe as a company, you can extend and grow outside.
That's actually perfect. That's actually a very good answer to that. And we're gonna do some shorts out of it. Talking about content generation and repurposing content, I think that's a very nice shorts to be had. My last then question, Anna, let's let's talk about a very cliche one, which is the future. And I want to specifically talk about the future of MotoPress with WordPress with AI. Do you already have something hot that you can share about what MotoPress will be doing in the future, like the next step? Or do you have yourself a wish for something to happen in the near future that you know will revolutionize either the WordPress market or the marketing market as a whole, or even something altogether that we can talk about it here briefly?
ActionPress even already has an AI feature implemented
Mm.
in one of its products. Well, it is not super sophisticated, but it's very useful for people. As I said at the beginning, we have a GetFeed plugin, which is a library of built-in blocks for a website. And one of the blocks is an AI content generator, and people can use it to create content inside WordPress without going to tools like the platforms like ChatGPT or Gemini or something like that. And they can use it even without registration. So this was probably one of the smallest thing that we've done in relation to AI. But at the moment, I think it is not perfectly clear how we can implement AI into our solutions so that it gives true benefits to customers, not just put AI name to the product page and everyone will go there looking for perfectly automated solutions. So we are looking and waiting for some real benefits that we can bring into the products, and we can, with peace of mind, call them AI-driven solutions. Yeah, but in routine, we use AI for some for emails, for some blog post changes. I mean, we don't write blog posts in ChatGPT, of course, but we use it for some grammar correction or some vocabulary, etc., for some small tasks. Actually, we decided not to use totally AI-generated content from blog. Because we have fears that it can influence somehow SEO results in the future. So Google was before for unique content and for something authentic that you can test and write yourself and make your own conclusions. And we also try to focus on this type of content and never publish totally AI generated content.
That's very nice that you're taking the authority side of Google's requests very much into consideration. I say
AI
this, it's so important. No, don't worry. But I tell this to a lot of the guests that I have here. They're having their first time ever in a podcast, and they're usually talking to me about how they want to start building their authority, because right now AI has made sure that people are second guessing if another person even exists. Right now, you have so many AI bots, you have so many fake profiles, you have so many AI generated videos, even avatars, as they say, that it's becoming harder and harder to trust somebody that you met online. Talking about our world here on LinkedIn, for example. So, and then we have here the SEO world, everybody talking about authority. We need to show authority. We need to show that we understand what we're talking about. But this can also work outside of the SEO market. We can actually do it ourselves, right? Make sure that we are spending some of our time on that personal branding by, I don't know, publishing something, even a blog of ours, a personal blog, something else altogether, because it's not only about ranking, it's about making sure that people will connect and will embrace your ideas. And I
We
do
need more
highly
podcasts and less AI generated content.
That's it. More podcasts, less AI generated content. Anna, that's the time we have. And I'm so thankful for everything that you shared. Not only you were very specific about the details of what you do, but I believe you also inspire people to start and test new things. As I said, the Grow meeting, you can count me in. That's an amazing idea. It was amazing. I only have once more and for the last time to say thank you for coming to the show. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for sharing it all. And for those that are watching us, you're going to find not only the details of MotoPress, but also Anna's in the description down below, the like button. And if you're listening from Apple Podcasts and Spotify, tune in on YouTube to check the orange shirts. You're going to love it. Anna, thank you so much. We hope to see you next in the
Absolutely.
episode.
Thank
And
you.
until then, take care.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.